Welcome to the step-by-step formula for breaking free from the 9 to 5 masterclass. I'm so excited you're here to join me. So today we're going to talk about how to quit your job and travel with £0 in the bank, how to price your services as a freelancer because it's something so many people get stuck up on, and go through my step-by-step formula to breaking free from the 9 to 5. Plus, I'm going to give you the down low on how exactly you can get every step of the process, the how-to, what you're going to do, and what you need to follow along with. So to start off with, I'm going to kick it off with some actionable advice because there's so many times I've been to a webinar and it's kind of sucked because you walk away and you're like, has that even helped me? So I'm going to go straight in there with something that you can use straight away. So these are 4 common pitfalls of people who go freelancing and how you can avoid them. So 4 things people skip which sabotage their success. So don't make these mistakes, honestly. So the first thing people do is price their services too low. Now, I know we're going to get into detail of pricing in a little bit, but one thing I'm going to say is that people go into freelancing and they often do not think about pricing in the detail they need to. They end up with a much too low rate, which means that people end up having to work all the hours under the sun. Like, you break free from the 9 to 5, but your prices are so low, you've got to work 7 till 7 to make ends meet. That is something we want to avoid. So by being here and watching this pricing lesson today, it's something you're going to know how to avoid. 2 is failing to have a plan. So people fail to have a plan, and that's going to make you fail in the long term. Going into freelancing, people often jump in and be like, oh, I'll pick up a client here and there, but then those clients go away and they haven't really got a plan in place to replace them. So having a plan going into freelancing is something that's so important. If you go in with it thought out, then you're going to have a much easier time. You're going to have clients that come back, clients that suit you. You're going to plan to do your work. So every day you're sitting there and you're getting on with your work and you know what you need to do. Failing to have a plan just means you're going to struggle a lot. The third thing people do is by wasting their own time. So people don't have good time management. Like, if you sit down at your laptop and you don't have focused time to work, then you could end up just wasting your time and not getting the things done you need to. Like, in jobs, normally we're there from 9 till 5. So if you have unfocused or unproductive time, you don't really care because you still go home in the evening. When you're freelancing, you've got the option to finish work whenever you want. So the quicker you get your work done, the more free time that you've got yourself. So wasting time is something that is so irritating to me. And there's other things that people do that waste their time as well. Like, if you don't work with long-term clients and you're spending time looking for new clients every month, that's wasted time because you're not getting paid for that time. That's coming out of your end. So wasting your time with your business processes and the way you're set up as well is a massive drain on your time that you could be spending doing much better things. Number 4 is skipping the admin. So as a freelancer, you need to keep charge of your own admin. You need to know how much you're earning, when you're getting paid. You need to know how much you're spending. Nobody wants to get to April and be like, oh crap, I've got to go over a whole year's worth of expenses and invoices because I need to tell the tax man. So if you skip the admin, it builds up and up and you're going to have to do it eventually. So getting a good process in place for your admin is so important. So how do I know? Well, because to a certain extent, I did all of these things when I was going freelance. I was unconfident about my prices and would lower them massively when people asked me about them. I didn't set up my admin right and I had to go through all of the beginning year of my taxes to work out my income and expenditure. I forgot to invoice people on time. I did all of the things, but I learned from it and now I know what to avoid. And luckily, none of them really tripped me up too badly. So hey, this is me circa 2017, I'd say. So this is me on my work day out. I was hungover. It was a typical team building day where you literally just do all this chatting and don't actually get anything done. It was so frustrating for me. I was a PA and project manager for a charity and I commuted to London every day for work. So my commute was 2 hours each way. So during the week, I would probably spend 20 hours a week just getting to work. I was the lowest paid person in my team and I was always the first one there trying to avoid rush hour. So not only was I the lowest paid commuting for 20 hours, I also was there from 8 in the morning till a little, even earlier. So I was doing an extra hour a day at work and there was just no progression for me. I was really, really stuck. So I didn't mind being the lowest paid person in my team, but I knew that that's where I was stuck. I wasn't ever going to become a manager or a director or anything. So I just felt like my work was unfulfilling. I was stuck, I was unhappy, and I didn't know what to do about it. Plus, my hobbies and interests, well, I had none. I got home from work at like 7 or half 7 after leaving the house at like 6. So I was exhausted by the time I got home. I used to get in, go and veg on the sofa, watch TV and like scroll through Instagram. There was no things that I had to do to excite me. My life was pretty boring. My husband and I would just sit there. He worked really long hours too. And like we'd barely talk. We'd come home, have our dinner, watch TV for a couple of hours and go to bed. Not exactly inspiring. But I did break free from the 9 to 5. So 2017, I was in this like travel dreams hole. I'd go on Pinterest, pin in places to visit, Instagram, hashtag van life. I was just obsessed. Like I wanted to go so badly, but I just didn't know how I could do it. Eventually, my husband and I bought a van and we spent a long cold winter doing a conversion. Our hands went blue a few times. Eventually, we got our conversion done and we were ready to go. So I actually handed in my notice 3 months before I even left my job in December. So you can see how eager I was to get out of there. So it's 2018. We've got a ferry booked for the 1st of April. I've already told my boss I'm quitting, so I've got the last few days left. We've had our leaving parties even. But I have £0 in the bank. I mean, we had like £50 with bills coming out still. And it was 1 month until we went. So our savings didn't go to plan, clearly. We needed to find a way to earn money. So we had one last pay slip coming in, but that wasn't going to help us get around Europe for very long. There was only so much shopping at Lidl we could do. Like we wanted to go and travel, but we wanted to have a good time and be able to do all the things that we wanted to do. So this is me now. Like you can see how happy I am in this picture. I'm a freelance project manager and I work from home. I can either work in my van, traveling around England or around Europe, anywhere. So I'm getting paid now double my old hourly rate. I pick my own hours and I don't work very long hours. I've got time for reading, playing guitar. I've learned to play guitar since I went freelance. I get to do design and art and I get to do that for my job sometimes. I do self-development. I have time for the gym, for my puppy cuddles, for yoga, for naps, for baking, for you name it. I can fit it into my day and it's just amazing. So we're going to jump right in now to this masterclass. First of all, we're going to go through pricing your freelance services. Then we're going to go step by step what I did to break free and talk about how you can do the same. And then there'll be time at the end for any questions. And I've got some frequently asked questions I can run through as well. But if you do have questions, drop them in the comments box. And if I don't get back to you now, then I'll get back to you in the end of the module. So pricing your offer. When you're talking about pricing your offer, you need to take some things into consideration. So the first one is how much do you want to work? What hours? Do you want to be working 9 to 5 or do you want to have reduced hours to enjoy the benefits of freelancing, like being able to cuddle your dog all day? Think about how much you want to earn. So this is actually something that's pretty important and I think it's very important for us to get a handle on how much you need to earn a month to survive, like your basic income needs, your bills, your rent, your food, and then as well how much you want to do to thrive. Like if you love going out for dinner, include that in that figure. So then you want to also compare this to what the going rate is. So I'm not saying go out there, look at what the going rate is and then say that's your income, because it depends. Everyone's life is different and what's good for you might not be good for somebody else. So the going rate is just to sense check your idea and make sure you're not being too out there. A sip of my tea. So how much you want to work. So this is about choosing your hours versus working long hours. If you don't take this into consideration and you don't price yourself right, you could end up working from 7 in the morning until 7 in the evening just to make ends meet. So knowing what hours you want to work, and if that's something that's very important to you, getting a handle on that is essential. How much you want to earn. So what do you need a month? Do you need the same as your current monthly income? Because that's a good place to start. But if things are changing, like maybe you've got plans to go traveling, you're going to have a very different income need when you're traveling to what you need to earn at home with all the bills and living costs you have here. Are you having lifestyle changes? Like maybe you spend a load of money on takeaways and you want to cut that down. Maybe you've got a load of subscriptions that you don't even use. So the one thing I will say about this is the lower the amount that you need per month, the more freedom you have. When I was traveling, obviously I wanted to be able to go out there and explore new places and see all the cool things that I wanted to go and visit. So the lower the amount, the more freedom it gave me. When I covered the basics, I would quite often take time off. Like this was sometimes a week, 2 weeks, and once it was even 3 weeks, I earned my income goal in the first week of the month, and I literally just monged out the rest of the month, visiting places, going to different cities, and it was amazing. So the lower the amount that you need per month, the more freedom you have. So then looking at what the going rate is. So review job boards online. I would definitely say look at things that are specifically freelance, specifically online, and see what the going rate is for those. Like what do people that are doing similar jobs or similar roles earn? And is there a variation between what people are earning and what their skill set are? So this can be a good way to start looking at what skills you might want to prioritise learning or even talking about when you're applying to jobs if you've already got them, because some skills are going to be more in demand and are going to be charged for a higher rate. So that's a really good way to start looking at that and starting to build a picture of what the online job world is like for you. So some key mistakes that people make. So some people go into freelancing and they just divide their current monthly income by 35 hours a week. So that doesn't take into consideration some other things like your tax, that you probably won't work 35 hours. Freelancers do get paid more because of certain things, and I'm going to dive into this in a minute. Another mistake people make is just by going online and copying what other people are charging. So this is a great benchmark and you can kind of use it to sense check, but your needs, your skills, everything that makes you is different to what other people have. So you want to work this out for yourself rather than just relying on copying what someone else is charging, because they might be charging completely wrong. They might not have done this. Another thing is not being set on your rates before applying to jobs. You could end up applying to jobs that you can't afford to go and work. You can't afford to do 40 hours a week only charging £12 an hour, because that's not going to pay your bills. So not being set on your rates before applying to jobs would mean that you aren't looking at the jobs that are relevant for you and that fit your criteria. And then the final mistake is not feeling confident about your rates. And this is something that is a struggle. Like, it's hard. We're British people and we struggle generally to talk to other people about money. We're kind of uncomfortable about it. Like, we don't like splitting the bills. We don't like asking for a discount. So talking about money isn't something that comes naturally in British culture. So as a freelancer, you have to get over this. You're going to be telling people how much you want to earn. You're going to be asking people to pay your invoices and chasing for money. And you have to get confident talking about your rates. Because if you are going up to somebody and when you're asking them, they ask you how much you want to get paid a month. And you go, oh, I want to get paid, well, £30 an hour. If that's okay, we can talk about it, blah, blah, blah. People aren't going to pay you £30 an hour if you're unconfident even asking about it, because you don't seem like you're worth that amount. So looking at that and being like confident about the amount you're charging people, and it means you're going to be coming into it with a different attitude, and people are going to be more likely to pay you it if you think you're worth it. So why do freelancers get paid so much? I used to think freelancers got paid so much and it was ridiculous. Like, I remember in my old job when I knew freelancers worked with us, I'd look at their invoices and just think, what the hell? They're getting paid like double what I am. Now that's me. So freelancers do have things that they need to pay for themselves. So you pay your own expenses. If you need a new notebook, if you need a desk, you're paying for your own Wi-Fi. If you need software, you're paying for that out of your end. Your tax and national insurance are also coming out of your end. Like, when you're freelancing, your employers don't pay your tax for you. You have to do that yourself. You also have unpaid time doing things like admin and finding work, which is why it's so important to look at this in a plan and look at long-term clients, because the time that you're looking for work is unpaid time. That's coming out of your pocket, and it's time that you're sat in front of your laptop doing something you don't really want to be doing without being paid for it. So that's why I do recommend looking for the long-term clients. And as a freelancer, it's unlikely that you're going to be working from 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, because you're working with different clients. You're probably not going to have your days completely filled. So as well as that, freelancers are paid for their expertise. Someone's getting you in for your specific skill set for a specific piece of work. You've got shorter term contracts, and companies can afford to pay you more for your expertise. So let's have a look at how to actually find your price. So the simplest way to do it is to take your income goal, how much you need to earn a month, and then divide that by your hours goal. And that's going to give you your hourly rate. So say you want to earn £2,500 a month to cover your bills, expenses, and a little buffer. And you divide it by 80 hours, which is like 20 hours a week, which is quite cool. So that's £31.25 an hour. But when we're taking into these considerations, we also need to consider expenses and taxes. So to find the taxes, so say you're in the basic rate taxpayer group, so 20% of your income is going to need to be paid as tax. You can use a calculator online to do this because I'm with you, maths sucks, and this is how I've worked this out. So you can put this in online and it's going to work it out for you. So take the amount that you need. So 2,500 is your basic income that you need to earn, and you can just plug it in. So 2,500 is 80% of what amount? And that amount would be £3,125. So that's how much you need to earn before tax, which means your hourly rate would need to be £39.06 per hour. So work out how much you need in your bank and then add the tax on top of it. It's much easier to work out that way. You can just search for this online, tax calculator, and it'll find it for you. So then let's have a look at how does your hourly rate compare. So like you've reviewed some job boards online like Upwork, freelancer.com, Indeed and Total Jobs. So how does your rate compare to the market? And I'm not saying that you should really knock your prices down if they're much higher, because it's good to have a high hourly rate because it means you're not going to have to work as many hours. But if your price is unreasonably high, you're going to struggle to find work, or you're going to price yourselves out of lots of jobs. So compare your rate to the market, and if there's things that set you apart that make you a higher rate than these other people that you're seeing, that's fine. But you just want to know that it does for a reason, rather than just you being like setting your price high for no reason that's going to mean you don't get work. Then look at how do you feel about your rate. So if you feel like your rate's too high, it will 100% show to clients when you're talking about it that you're uncomfortable with that. You need to get comfortable about asking for it. So practice talking about it. Practice saying to like a partner, oh, my hourly rate is this much, and talking about how much you want to earn. So don't despair. Like if you are feeling unconfident, or if you feel like your hourly rate isn't high enough that you can earn the money you need to, there are things that we can do to increase it. So ways to increase it are learn new skills. So a really good way to do this is to look at the skills from the research you've already done and see what variation was there that meant people were getting paid more. Like, was there lots of people who had search engine optimization seem to be getting a much higher rate for content marketers? Are there other skills such as using a certain platform that means people are charging more? Or is there a certain niche that people are working in, a certain sector that's allowing them to have a higher hourly rate? So you can emulate these things and increase your skills and learn like new things to increase your rate. Specializing in something is so important. So having a niche, like that could be a sector that you work in, a specific skill you have, or like a platform that you're an expert in. Specializing in something means that people are paying you for your expertise, and having a niche just means it sets you apart from other people, and it can mean you have a higher hourly rate. Or working with packages. So these aren't tied to an hourly rate, but they're a great way to increase your earnings over the month. So this is like the best way to say it. So if I do a job in 30 minutes, it's because I spent 10 years learning how to do that in 30 minutes. You owe me for the years, not the minutes. So packages are when you bundle together some things that you do to create a package. So it's not tied per hour, you sell it as a whole bundle, and that way you can earn more than if you just did these things as like an hourly package. So things like this are social media. So you would offer somebody, I do 5 posts a week across 2 platforms. I do the analytics and reporting and a 1-hour strategy session a month. So a rate for that might be £400 a month. So you just need a few clients to take that on. And it means that you're earning more than if you just did an hourly rate with these clients. But because it's something you're an expert in, people are happy to pay for your expertise and to have all of it in one handy package. An example for someone who works in admin or a virtual assistant might be they do the monthly invoice and admin, monthly reporting and planning, daily email management, plus a couple of specific tasks, and they package that up and say to somebody, for £700 a month, I will cover all this stuff. Now, some months it might take you more, some months it might take you less, but you've got that package rate of £700 a month, which hopefully means that your expertise is being overvalued. For me, this is something that I actually do. So I do an offer where I do proposal creation. So this is everything from the research on the topic, analysing data, creating a proposal and plan for putting it in action, the copywriting and a full design piece. And I do this for around £550. And this is a set price, and it doesn't take me that many hours to do, but it's something that I've become an expert in because I do it all the time. And because it's all a bundle, it's easier than somebody having to go off to a copywriter, a researcher, a editor, and someone who designs stuff. And it makes it easier. So people are happy to pay a set price for this kind of thing. So when you're doing packages, you do still want to sense check them. So work out how long would it take you an hour to do a full package, even if this is a rough amount. How many can you do or would you want to do per month or per week? And then make sure that that fits in with your original goals for your income and for your hours. So when you're starting out with your pricing, I would say get feedback from people. If everybody's telling you you're pricing yourself way too high, then maybe you need to revisit it. For now, like, you can always increase your rates in future. Be willing to negotiate with people. I mean, there's some people out there that when they come to talk to you about it, they're not going to be happy unless they've knocked off a couple pound an hour. So maybe take this into account when you're putting your rates together and have a little flexibility in it so you can be willing to negotiate. Be clear what you will offer for each of these things. So if your package includes a certain amount of things, then you need to be clear that it doesn't include these other things, so that when people come to you and ask you to do it, you can say this isn't in the package. If you have clarity at the beginning of what you can and can't offer for packages, for your hourly rates or day rates, then it just makes it easier in the long term. You also want to be clear on when you're willing to work and when not. Like, if working shorter hours is important to you, then reflect that in your prices. And then I'd also say get testimonials and reviews, because it's going to make it so much easier for people to trust you and your rates if they can see what other clients have said. So now we're going to get into the step-by-step formula for how to break free from the 9 to 5. So this is something that I followed. This is how I set up my freelancing business, which is successful now, and I don't need to work long hours and I earn double my hourly rate. But it's also what I've worked with clients. Like, I work one-on-one with clients to help them do the same. So this is the process that we followed. It's been refined and I know it works for other people too. So the first step is planning. So first of all, you want to define your goal. So think about what you want to earn, where you want to work. Do you want to be working from a beach in Bali or a cafe in Lisbon or just your own house? What hours do you want to work? Do you want to start early, finish early, or do you prefer working in the evenings? Do you want career change, or do you want to just carry on doing the things you've got now? Because freelancing is great for changing career. You can dip your toe in, see if you like new things, and build up experience slowly. The next thing is to create your current monthly budget, your survive and thrive amounts. So knowing your income goal is essential, and the less money you need per month, the more freedom you're going to have. Next thing to do is create a rough business plan. So what are you going to do? Who are you going to do it for, and how will you do it? Even if it's very, very rough at this stage, it gives you something to work from. The next thing I'm going to go into is about repackaging your skills. So if you list your current skills and experience and look at what you do at work, what you're good at, what do people come to you for help with all the time? Even if it's not something you do at work, maybe you're the go-to person for organising the Christmas party, or maybe you've got great financial advice for people. What have you done in previous roles? So looking at your skills rather than your job title is going to open things up for you, because we're more than just a job title. Like, job titles change between companies. So looking at your skills, and that's something that you have, and you can see where they match up. Then create your vision. So what are your interests? Are there things that you particularly want to bring into your work that freelancing could now give you the opportunity to do? What do you see your freelance life being like? Are you wanting time to be creative, or do you want to learn new things and use them, or change career? Then match up and reframe your experiences to fit your ideal role. So look at what other jobs out there match your skill set, so you've got options. Are there untapped talents you don't currently use that you're really great at but you don't currently use in your job? And how can you change the way that you talk about your work or your role to expand your abilities? So this is something around kind of like learning to sell your skills and your experiences. So when you're looking through those skills you've listed, try and match them up to some of the jobs that you've seen or the way that recruiters talk about jobs. So if something's there around we need somebody who's good at admin. You could talk about like you're proficient in these packages, blah, 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 and really try and sell yourself and learn to start talking about your skills in a way to make them fit a variety of different things that employers are going to ask for. Then finally, you want to find gaps. So there's going to be skills you're missing. Everybody's missing certain skills. So have a look at those and see what do you want to learn. You can make yourself more attractive to clients by learning new skills. And this is a great time to bring in that research you did and look at what skills meant that people were going to be charging a higher hourly rate. Then you want to get specific. So find a niche. What is it that sets you apart from other freelancers? How is what you offer different? Is it the way you do it? Do you work on a certain package or certain software? So just kind of find something that's very specific to you, because it's going to help you in your messaging. It's going to help you be an expert. It helps you have clarity. Define your ideal client. So who is it that you want to work for? Where do they work? And what's the problem they've got? Because you want to make sure that whatever you're offering is answering that pain point of theirs. Then the next thing to do is set a price for your offer. So we've already gone into this. You're going to be an expert doing this one already. Then it's putting yourself out there. So you need to create a website or portfolio. This is going to include details about what you offer, testimonials, and details about you. So you can fit so much more in your own website than you can on job applications. And it's just great to give people like another level of visibility for people to come and find you, so they can see like all of the things about you, find more detail. People employ people, not like CVs. So the more you can make yourself personable, people are going to like you and want to work with you more. It's also a great time to put in more than you'd fit in a job application. Then you want to reach out to your network. So honestly, as a freelancer, so many clients come as recommendations or referrals. You might have people waiting in your LinkedIn contacts already who'd be willing to work with you. So put it out there, whether you use LinkedIn at work or if you use Twitter, let people know you're offering a new package as a freelancer, and try and create connection and find opportunities just within your network. The next thing to do is look at job opportunities online. So there's so many places you can look. You can look at job boards, social media, like Facebook has some really great digital nomads groups where you can find online work and people are posting job opportunities. And then there's specific freelancing sites like Upwork. So these do have their downfalls, like you end up paying a cut of your earnings to Upwork, but it's a great place to find jobs because there's so many on there. It's a great place to get yourself started, find some clients initially, and even if you find them on Upwork and then work outside of it, which you're not meant to do, but I've done it too, it's a really good place to find it. The next thing is about applying to jobs. So you want to answer the specific job spec. So many people, when they're applying to jobs, just go in and they copy and paste the application that they've put in with 10 other people. And it shows, if you tailor each application and every cover letter you do, then it really is going to make you stand out and you're so much more likely to do it. So go in and apply to the jobs that are really relevant to you with a really specific application. The next thing in the process is securing your first client. So you want to start negotiating your rates and terms. Agree when you're available and agree what's in and outside of your remit at the beginning. It makes it a lot easier going forward if you both know where you stand. And then when you've secured your client, you want to sign contracts. So contracts are so important and they protect both of you. You want to have a contract there that just covers what you're going to do and the agreement. Then you want to hand in your notice at your current job. So a great thing to do is to get a testimonial or recommendation, like they can email it to you, they can put it on LinkedIn. Excuse me. And when you've handed in your notice, like you can even talk to your current boss about if there's a possibility of a freelance role for you. So I have got, my old boss is my first freelance client and he is still a freelance client of mine now. Other things to consider are about managing your work and continual improvement. So you want to make sure that your processes and systems to make your life easier. So managing your time, you don't want to do all your admin manually and it be a massive drain on your time, because remember, you're not getting paid for that. But if you do things that make it simpler and that automate it and make your time much easier, then it's definitely going to work better for you. There's also continual improvement. So you want to learn new skills. It's going to help you up your rates, and you want to work in a way that helps you keep clients. So you're not out there looking for new clients all the time. Phew, so that sounds like a lot. It is a lot. I mean, freelancing, the number one pitfall that I see is people not planning for like a sustainable and long-term freelancing career. People end up struggling, earning like small earnings, or like getting paid well one month, no pay the next month, and riding this like roller coaster of earnings. And that's from not planning. So all of this stuff is going to take you through the process and just help you to build a solid foundation, which sets you up for success and is a much easier life in the long run. So are you interested in going from full-time to freelance? I mean, it sounds like a lot, but I can help you along with this every step of the way. So the full-time to freelance course is a 6-week course I'm offering to you. It has got 6 modules and it's all online, so you can fit this around your life. It's the step-by-step in detail for that whole process. It takes you through everything you need to do with like in-depth tutorials of what you need to do, the actual actions that you can follow through so that you're going through the process and building it slowly and in really manageable chunks. So it's a 6-week course, there's 6 modules here. So number 1 is the foundation. It's building a foundation for your freelancing business and helping you set up for success. Module number 2 is what you're going to do. So literally getting clear on your offer and what you're going to offer to people. Module 3 is all about visibility, and it's about getting you out there so people can find you, so that you know how to speak about what you offer, so that people can see the social proof that you are great and you are as brilliant as you say you are, and to help you kind of build a brand and build something up that's going to be sustainable and that people are going to remember. Module 4 is all about finding clients, so making sure that you can get those job proposals out there and they're going to be successful ones that people are going to be desperate to work with you. Module 5 is that negotiation phase. So that's about making sure you've got clear boundaries, because that's so important, and about talking about your rates and being able to negotiate and stand your ground. Module 6 is all about maintaining success. So this is just going to keep you going in the most successful way possible. It's going to make sure it's long term, that you're going to make things better and better as you go on. And there's some bonus lessons in here. So for anybody who's not sure if their job relates to freelancing, there is a lesson called Anyone Can Do This Job, and it's literally the how-to, rundown, total, everything you need to know about this job that literally anybody can do. All you need is a laptop and know how to use it, and you're on this webinar, so I'm guessing you do. There's also the website creation tutorial that's really simple. If you've never built a website before, it's going to take you through every step of the process. And then I'm going to show you my processes and folders to show you how you can get those set up. Plus, I'm also including all of my resources like time tracking, how to upskill, my learning logs, my learning plans, everything that I do. You can grab a copy of all of them and use them for yourself. So module 1 is the foundation. The lessons within that are goal setting, setting yourself a goal so you know what you're going to do and you're going to be motivated to go and smash it. Finance, your numbers to survive and thrive. So knowing how much you need to earn a month, which you're going to use in all these other lessons. Repackaging your skills, which is amazing. Like, people have just gone through some of this now, and the repackaging your skills is so popular because it gives you the options. It gives you free options for other jobs you could do alongside the one you're already doing. So knowing how your skills apply to different jobs, it's just going to make it easier for you to find work, for you to have confidence that you can do things, and to give you an option. Like, if you're someone who likes variety, repackaging your skills to like fit different jobs is something that's really, really fun, because it means you can work across different fields. And then finally, planning. So obviously I'm a project manager and I love planning, but I'm going to get you to love planning as well, because it is really important. Plus, in this module, you get my 1-page business plan, which is super clarity, everything you need. You're going to fill it in throughout the whole course, and it's just so clear, having it all on one page that you can jump back into and have a look at again. Module 2, what you'll do. So we're going to find your ideal client, define who they are, find you a niche, so get really specific on what you're going to do, and define your offer. So just know exactly what you're going to offer. Have like an elevator pitch that you're going to be able to put there to clients and they're going to understand, and pricing, and you guys are already experts on that. Plus, Anyone Can Do This Job is the bonus lesson in here. Module 3 is all about getting visible. So looking at your brand, like what your brand values are, what people are going to get when they come work with you. Setting up your website, getting social proof so that people can believe that you are that great, so that people can see like evidence of your work or how it is to work with you. And coming up with a marketing plan. So like, even if you don't think you need this, you need to be in front of your clients. Even if it's like your marketing plan is just to speak to people on job sites and let them come to you. You want to be clear about what it is you're going to do to bring people towards yourself. Plus, the create your website in 2 hours step-by-step tutorial. It's so straightforward. So if you've never built a website before, you're going to love this. Module 4 is finding work. So this is where you're going to be finding relevant work. So in person and online, depending on how you want to work. And finding relevant work is so important because, like I said, when you're applying to jobs, you're not getting paid for that time. So you want to make sure that you're applying to jobs that are a really good fit for you, that fit your ideal client, that fit your niche, that fit your goal. Then setting up your profiles on job sites. So this is something that's great and it can help people come find you. So work comes to you, you don't have to go looking for it. Application process and cheat sheet. This cheat sheet is going to save you so much time in applying for jobs and mean that you've got more free time to do things you want to do. So it's a great way we put together all your skills into a cheat sheet so we can answer any job application and still be really specific without it taking hours and hours. Then interview tips and advice. So as a freelancer, you're probably still going to have interviews and they'll probably be online. So just getting through some tips and advice for those. Module 5 is negotiation. So when you secure your first client, you need to negotiate your rates, your ways of working. You need to agree on your contract. And then finally, negotiating with your boss about how to quit your job and maybe even turn them into your first freelance client. Module 6 is about maintaining success. So this is just going to keep you on that path to freelance freedom. This is about business processes 101, everything you need to know to set up to make your life easier. Routines that you can do and how to structure your day so that you are having the biggest benefit, you're working when you're productive and you're having more free time and able to spend time doing things you enjoy. How to increase your rates, because that is such a great thing about freelancing, is that there's no ceiling to your earnings. You can upskill, increase your rates, learn new things, and there's no limit. Your boss doesn't decide this is how much this job is capped at. You can increase your rates, find new clients that are going to pay you them. And then horizon scanning. So this is about keeping ahead of the game. You want to know what's on the horizon and what's out there so you can be ahead of the curve. So you get all of this, every step in detail. It's fully action focused to take you through the whole process. It's not a sitting there passively listening course. This takes you from A to B and it's going to get you to having your freelance business set up, your first clients through the door and knowing exactly what you need to do to maintain that success. Plus, I also am doing Freaking Ask Questions email support, so you can email me anytime and I'll be happy to help any questions you've got. I'll be doing a weekly live stream on Facebook answering all of your questions. And you get lifetime access to the course, so you can come back to it. And if new sites come up there and I record new modules on it, then you get access to those as well. So this is only £97. It's an introductory price. It will be going up for the next round, but at the moment it's only £97 because I want this to be so accessible to you. This is less than a night out in the town or less than a new outfit and pair of shoes. And the reason I'm doing that is I do not want the price of this to be the reason that any person stays stuck in a job they hate. For me, when I was looking to go freelance, I didn't know what to do. I had to do all of this research and it was so time consuming. And without that, desperate need to go travel, I would never have made the time to do this. So this is your way of investing in yourself. And I said, it's only £97, it's under £100, and you can still buy this course up until Friday. So the course closes the 20th of September, 8 p.m. That's this Friday. You can find the details how to buy at www.breakfreefromthe9to5.com/fulltime to freelance with dashes in between. So I will send you the course, the course details and the link to buy and all these details via email along with the replay. So these are some testimonials I've had from previous clients. As I said, this is the process that I used myself to go from full-time commuting 20 hours a week on top of my job to working from my little cute home office here, working in my van, working in Europe. But I've also worked with other people, so I know it's replicable and I know it works for others. So, hi Kira, life has improved a lot since moving back and switching jobs, so thank you again. Colette says, since working together, I've benefited from getting clarity on actions to take and reach my goals. I have created a momentum of action in order to reach my goals that started after we worked together and continues now. It was a great session. I don't have any improvements. Thanks for giving me some great ideas to reach my goals. Tamara says, Kira, you were very calm, level-headed and a problem solver. You helped me sort out my thoughts and give me new ideas, solutions to what's been bothering me and keeping me stuck. I feel as if you're a great support system and I have someone to reach out to when I need extra advice or guidance for my challenges. One of the things we discussed in our call was taking the next step towards a happier career. Since then, I've put in my notice, sought out jobs, and I'm more passionate about and have an interview for one already. So these are people who've gone through this process and who've been able to quit their job and find work. I've helped people quit their job and become a freelancer so they could travel. I've helped people who just want to earn some extra income in the lead up to Christmas. I've helped people change careers by doing freelancing on the side until they've built experience. And I've helped people quit their jobs and travel earlier than they planned to because they were able to go freelance. So let me know if you've got any questions. Just pop them in the comments box. And I've got some frequently asked questions here that I'll run with you in the meantime. So I've never bought an online course before. How do I know this is worth it? So yeah, I've deliberately priced this course super low. So it's affordable, but it's still packed with so much value. The price is because I want you to be able to buy it, not because it's not got everything you need in it. So this is investing in yourself is so valuable and it will pay dividends in the long run. I would have paid so much more than this if someone had given me a blueprint to how to quit my job and become a successful freelancer. So I know this course is worth it. Someone says, well, isn't £97 a bit cheap for 6 weeks? How do I know it's of value? So like I said, I want to help people break free from the 9 to 5. I was so stuck and so miserable in my old job. And I don't want people to not be able to buy this course and to be stuck feeling that way. So I want to help 200 people break free from the 9 to 5 by the end of 2020. And pricing it this way is my way of getting it out to as many people as possible so I can reach that goal. So I don't think I've got time to complete a course now. I work full time and I commute 2 hours a day. I just don't have spare time. So yeah, trust me, I get that 100%. That was me and it was hard to make time for it, but it was my priority. So I've made sure all of the lessons are 10 minutes or less and they're accessible as a video or as an audio file. So you can fit these lessons into your day the way that suits you. You can fit them in on your commute. You can listen to them while you're driving or at the gym. You can watch them at home and it only takes 10 minutes. So you do a lesson, do the action, and then you can come back to the next one. These don't all need to be done in one go. So you can probably fit the whole module per week into 3 lots of 30 minutes. So that's 3 days a week where you have half a lunch break and do half an hour working on your course. I mean, it's very simple to fit it in and it really comes down to your priorities. You have to make this a priority for yourself. I can't do that for you. I don't know if this is for me. Yeah, so it's not for everybody. If you're the type of person who doesn't follow through on things and who picks up a new thing and then drops it all the time, then this probably isn't for you because you're not going to follow through on it and you need to follow through and get the benefits for this to make it a success. So if you're that flaky friend who never turns up on time and never does the things that they say they're going to, then maybe this isn't for you. But if you're somebody who is willing to do the work, then this is going to be for you. And if you're somebody who's desperate to freelance, even if you're normally shit at following through on things, if this is something you care enough about, you're going to do it. So another question I've had is about my job has to be done in an office. I don't have any other skills that are needed for freelancing. So I said to you earlier about I don't want you to look at your job title and try and replicate that online. I want you to go through and to make sure that you're looking... excuse me. Make sure you're looking at your skills because your skills are applicable to so many different jobs. And I 100% guarantee there's a freelance role out there for you. You just need to look at your skills in a different way. You might need to learn a couple of things, but honestly, I include lots of resources about how you can learn some key skills in the course. And things like you can learn so much online for free. So I learned how to do InDesign and graphic design through YouTube tutorials, and now I sell that as part of my packages. So you can definitely do this online if you don't have a job that you think you can replicate online. Don't forget there is always that role that I do in that module 2 bonus lesson. Anyone can do this job as a freelancer. So there's always that for you, but guaranteed your skills do apply online somewhere. What makes you qualified to teach this? It's a lovely question, but so you know my story. I have been there, I've done this, I've walked this path and I know it works. I did the research, I've refined all of the thinking around this and put it down into a simple process. So not only have I done this, broken free from my 9 to 5 and double my hourly rate, work when I want, have a full book of clients, increase my rates to positive feedback, believe it or not. I've done all that, but I've also worked on it with my clients. I work one-on-one with clients, helping them to do the same. And other people have done this and it's worked for them as well. So I've tested it out and I know this works for people. I love this form of education, helping people learn and helping people get through the bottlenecks. So I'm going to be there the whole way through to help hold your hand and to help get you through this, to make sure that you are going to get the benefits. What if this doesn't work for me? What if I don't enjoy it? So yeah, I get it. Sometimes when you buy something online, it's not what you thought it was, or you have that buyer's remorse and you think, why did I do that? So I'm going to put a 14-day cooling off period on this for you. If you choose to, within 14 days from when you buy it, get a refund, you can do that. No questions asked. I'll refund you the full amount and you can walk away. You don't have to jump through hoops and prove that you've done X, Y, Z. I will refund it for you. So this is basically no risk for you. How do I know if I'm going to complete it? Are you going to help me? Yes, a course can be literally so good. It can be the absolute bomb, but if you don't finish it, then you don't get any of the benefits from it. So for me, it's so important that all of my students get the whole way through this course, because I want people to come out the other side and be successful and be like raving fans of it, so I can get it to more people. It's so important to me that you get through this and that you make the change. So I build in weekly prompts to help you get through. There's a frequently asked questions email you can contact anytime, and I will help you out weekly on a live stream on Facebook. And at the end of the day, though, you do need to just make the time for this. Like I said, the time commitment's not huge. You just need to be dedicated to do it. And I'll help you start a process for when you're going to work on it. So we'll set that goal when you sign up as well, so that you know when you're going to fit it in and how you're going to make sure you're doing the work. This is a good question. So will I have to pay out for loads of other stuff to get set up? So no. 100% not, because I want this to be accessible. The only thing that I suggest spending any more money on is to have a website, and that's optional. But getting a website, you can do it for as little as £10 or £15 a month. How long will I have access? So yeah, I've said this is lifetime access to the course. Any future versions of the course, you do get it. I'll try and recommend that you complete it within the 6 weeks, because the Facebook Live and the frequently asked questions support will go on for the next 8 weeks. So you have got a buffer if you fall behind a week or anything like that. But I want you to complete it in that time frame so that you've got the support there. How advanced is this course? So yeah, this course is for total beginners, people who have never freelanced before, that don't know what they're doing. So it's going to take you through everything step by step with the activities to help you do it too. If you're already freelancing and you're starting out, you're struggling, then this could still be for you as well, because you're going to find things in there that's going to help you build a foundation, that's going to give you ways to make your life easier, that's going to help you earn more money or be more clear on what it is you can offer people. Do I have to quit my job to do this? I only want to earn some extra money. So this is a great question. So you definitely do not need to quit your job to go freelance. I've worked with people who have just done some freelancing part-time to help them change career, to do something new, because they weren't able to get a job because their experience wasn't there. I've helped people to earn extra money ahead of Christmas or for a holiday. So this can be something you do on the side to earn extra money. Like I was looking the other day, and I think if you earn £25 an hour, not unreasonable for any of you, and you work 1 hour a day, then you will earn an extra £500 this month for 1 hour a day. I mean, it's something that's so straightforward and so easy to do, and I really, really think that it's something that anyone can benefit from, whatever your goals. So that's all the questions I've got here. Let me just double check on the screen. Okay, so if there are any extra questions that come in on the replay, then I will get in touch with you and send you a response to those, or do a link in my Facebook group where I'll answer any questions. So do keep shooting them in if you've missed this live. So the full-time to freelance course, that's it in a nutshell. So thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed this and found it useful. The course is going to close on Friday the 20th of September at 8 p.m. and it's £97, and that price will be going up for the next round, which won't be until December or January, but it will be going up. So it's the last time you can get it at this low price. So I'm going to send you the link and the replay for this by email. So the link is breakfreefromthe9to5.com/full-time to freelance course. And I'm going to send that to you now and get that set up. And I really hope to see you in there. So I know you're going to love it. So thank you so much for your time this evening.